What's up, guys? Anthony here, Special Analysis. Welcome to the video. Going to talk about my read on crude oil today. Obviously, you can see we've been under some pressure. So first thing I do when I come in, I always look at the higher time frame, which you can see above my image here on the chart. Right? I want to see where we are, what we're doing. So my preferred, I look at it 3 time frames. When I say higher time frame, I look at the weekly chart, I look at the daily chart, and look at the 4-hour chart. I populate whatever I'm drawing on the weekly and daily chart on the 4-hour, and then I come into the 4-hour, and that's where I really refine my intraday levels that I'm very concerned about. So you can see here we've placed this high, we took a big gap down, we pulled back up, placed a lower high right here in this area, took another push back down, didn't break this low necessarily, and then we've pushed back up to this level. So there's lots of support right around here where we currently are, and we actually nailed this today. Like we were talking about it, 84, 85, 85 bucks, that 15 tick range really did hold price at the low. And I'm not saying that we can't go lower, I'm just saying that we knew not to intend to sell beyond that level. So let me talk about now on the short term. I'm just simply looking for channel structures that meet my criteria. I draw them out every morning, and then I get into really diving into what's happening with liquidity, price action, and order flow, right? Where is the volume profile on the session? Where is the delta profile on the session? Is there any high nodes that I should be concerned about? Where, I run 2 VWAPs, the standard session fixed VWAP and the 4-hour rolling VWAP. Those two are the VWAPs of my preference. As you can see, other than my drawings, there's nothing else on my chart, right? I have volume faded in the background here, and that's it. Okay, we don't need anything else. We just need to identify where price is likely to give us an opportunity. So it's pretty clear that we're in a downward market. I came to look at the market right here around 6:30. Okay, 6:15 when I got, came downstairs, made my coffee, sat down the market, and I go, okay, we've made this very aggressive push through the overnight low. Now, there's a couple things that I'm interested in at this point, right? If we're going to keep going lower, which I knew we were taking this pull here, right? We pulled through this support up here at 85.95 and 85.90. We broke through that. So there's a good chance that what's going to happen is we're going to impulse, we're going to correct back to it, and then we're going to continue to impulse if that is in fact what the market desires to do. So my game plan was to do just that. I was simply looking for opportunities to sell at higher prices to capture downside moves. So the first trade I took was right here at what was that, 7:05, 7:10 this morning. Okay, so super early, market comes down. I see that we get some selling absorption right here at the bottom of these wicks. We get a push back up to this channel line, and we get really strong buying absorption. Okay, so this, what was previously support, has now been, designated resistance. If I look at this little intermediate candle right here, I'm expecting to find resistance based on this candle right here. So I pull back into a channel line, I pull back into an indecision candle in a very aggressive push lower. I get a bunch of buying absorption, I get a little consolidation, price falls. Okay, so I took the lion's share of my profit on the approach to this selling absorption right here at 62. And then when I saw this selling absorption transpire at this low, I took basically almost the rest of my entire position off. Okay, I did leave 2 contracts, thinking that if this took a shallow pullback, held at this trend line or channel structure, that we could then take another aggressive push lower, and then I was targeting this big push down here towards 85. Unfortunately, I did get stopped out, and that is what it is. Okay, left that alone. Now, I'm not trying to buy these lows, and the reason I'm not trying to buy these lows is very simple, because I have reason to believe that we're trending below the VWAPs, and we've broken some pretty significant support levels, that the market still wants to go lower. Now, I talked about this level right here, right? This level right here, 85.90. We pull back, right? I got selling absorption, we push higher. At this trend line, we get more selling absorption, we push higher. At this bigger time frame channel structure right here, and at 85.90 and change, I get more buying absorption. Why do I like the buying absorption here? For a couple of reasons. A, it's at a channel line, which it should be now considered resistance. B, on my higher time frame here, if I'm below this line, it should be considered resistance. I'm at the rolling VWAP. I get a beautiful buying absorption inside the very top of this candle. You can see we never violate the top of that candle. So if my analysis is wrong, price violates the top of that candle. If my analysis is correct, we should not violate the top of that candle, and we should push lower. Okay, and by violate the top of the candle, I don't mean by a tick or two, I mean like aggressively push through the top. Okay, I usually hover my stop 3 ticks, 5 ticks over the top of where I believe my analysis would be proven wrong. Okay, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I take the stop out and I'm done. But if I'm right, where do you think my targets are here? Right here at this buying absorption, or selling absorption rather, okay? Right here at this selling absorption. And then, what am I targeting? 85 bucks. I'm targeting these levels right here. Because you can see, I'm getting a lot of pressure off these wicks. I got pressure off of these wicks. I got a strong reversal off of this high. I'm gravitating towards this area right here, or yesterday's low, which we didn't get to, 84.55, because we didn't push through 84.85. But I'm moving in this direction, right? Notice price, even though it retraces back up to here, it doesn't come back here. We do get a little buying absorption here, a little buying absorption here, a little more selling absorption here. But the technical support was all the way down here. So in a market that's not, in my approach to trading, there's a couple different ways. There's a momentum entry. When there's this nice, smooth market that's just impulsing and correcting, very shallow corrections in an overall direction, okay? I have a very, very specific way to enter that market. If the market's not just very gently moving in a direction, and you could see that it is jagged, right? Boom, jagged, boom, jagged. It's a jagged trend. I need to now look, where can I enter if I'm in a downtrend, how can I identify an area that I can enter short? Okay, so I'm looking to short at supply, at resistance. I'm looking to short at resistance, at the rolling VWAP, at a higher time frame resistance level. So I have to look for an area where there's confluence. The confluence here was this channel structure and this candle of indecision that the market then took a very aggressive push lower from. Notice, very strong push, consolidation inside this candle, right? We got a big wick above and a big wick below. That's resistance or supply. Right in this level here, you can see we consolidate 2 candles after this candle prints. We violate that area by 1 tick, and then we sell off. Like I said, I take my profit right into this selling absorption area. So if the market's not trending nice and smooth, which it doesn't always do, right? Sometimes it does. It takes this really nice gentle impulse and correction, and you can find a really nice little breakout, and the market just runs. Sometimes that's wonderful, and to me, that's the easiest way to trade. But sometimes the market doesn't cooperate. And when the market's jagged, you have to prove a place of either support or resistance, depending the direction that you're trading. And then layer in whatever it is that works for you. What works for me is channel lines, because that's how I'm classically trained. Channel lines, trend lines, things of that nature. Okay? I can identify where indecision previously took place in the market. I can look at the higher time frame, and then I want to look at where's the liquidity in the market. Right? If I'm trying to get short here, but there's resting liquidity right here, I'm going to wait to see if the market pulls the liquidity first. Right? If there's no liquidity here, then I'm just looking for the absorption. But more often than not, there is sometimes a scenario where, you see absorption, and then there's liquidity, not too far off above it. The market normally gravitates to that liquidity first, and then it makes the move. So if there's liquidity hovering above the absorption, I'm gonna wait and see if the market consumes the liquidity. So I got to take all those components into play, and then I can make my decision. Okay, I'm ready to now hit the sell button or ready to hit the buy button. So make sure you guys have that plan in place so that you understand each tiny little nuance and each little component that goes into what gives you that secure feeling to take the risk. Because at the end of the day, you're risking your capital, you're risking your money, right? And you should be able to say, okay, I'm going to risk this money with a great deal of comfort. I'm going to risk this money utilizing a plan that I know that I've used in the past that has proven to be profitable over time. I also know that if the market doesn't cooperate and give me what I want, and where my analysis has been proven wrong, I'm going to exit the market and say, okay, I'm going to take a step back, reevaluate, wait for the next setup, and I'm not going to get thrown off kilter, because more often than not, we take a loss, we get emotional, and then we start going haywire and making bad decisions. So we got to get away from all those bad habits. So if you enjoyed this video, I ask you please like it. Feel free to leave a comment. I'd be happy to answer, and please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so. God bless, guys, and I will see you in the next video.